in the room. Come on in the room. Late night edition, Bucks After Dark. The Clippers winning tonight, 127-117 over your Milwaukee Bucks. Come on in the room. Doc is our doctor. He writes out all of our scripts. He gives us our medicine in our room. We are live. Scream City crossover groove track. I was your third.
Justin.
Yeah. You didn't think just because it's 1:15 on the East Coast after midnight Central Standard Time that we weren't gonna be out here doing the Cream City crossover, did you? That's not how we roll. We are here live and in effect, and we're gonna show up more than Khris Middleton did tonight with the crossover. That's what we're gonna do. Cause if I was doing like Khris Middleton did, I'd just pack it up. I'd go to bed right now. That's what I would do. I'd go to bed. That's what I would go to bed because that is how piss poor 22 was. And again, we're gonna get into it. We'll talk about it. Get at me in the chat. We'll talk there on Twitter at TCIIESQ. It's funny, everybody sleep. Justin, you asked me why you talking about some haters before, because here's why. And man, we're gonna get on Khris later, so I'm not gonna go too far into it today. I was pissed off. I'm pissed off at the game, Justin. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you and act like I'm not upset about what I saw. But the reason I'm upset is because, speaking about Khris Middleton, is because I put out there today, I said, hey, maybe I've come around on Bradley Beal. I've come around, and not that I want to trade Khris Middleton for Bradley Beal, but I've come around on it. Bradley Beal, by the way, had 20 points tonight, but I ain't gonna but I said, hey, I can come around on Bradley Beal. I've come around on Zach LaVine. I've come around on it. I can do it with Zach LaVine. I'm still a no on Jimmy Butler because I think it's about money more than anything. And if you're not going to guarantee that you're going to give him a long-term deal, then I think he's going to continue to act out until he knows he has that. But from a fit perspective, yeah, I would say yes to Jimmy Butler. And now I'm like, you know what? I could do Jeremy Grant and Rob Will too. If you were to, again, I haven't even looked at what you want to do, but I said, hey, I could do it. I say that, and then people come out of the woodworks tell me how crazy Jeremy Grant sucks. He's not a good player, man. What are you talking about? You know what? The people who talk about the Bucks, they don't even watch games. You don't even watch. I watched that. I watched whatever the hell that was by Khris Middleton tonight. And again, love Khris Middleton to death. I hope he goes and puts up 50 for the rest of his career. I hope he averages 60 points for the rest of his career. I hope he's able to play as long as LeBron James at 40 years old and is just as effective as LeBron James. But the eye test don't lie. The eye in the sky don't lie, Justin. The man is washed. And what I'm saying is, and I'm trying not to be so forthright about it. I'm not saying that he's washed. I'm saying for your third best player, making $30-some million, that's not a guy that he doesn't. I don't see it. That's all. I think he has it in spurts. I think he's good in some functions. But again, you can't take how we play against certain teams and here and there. We're on a 5-game win streak. You go play name me the 5 teams we just played. Who the Bucks beat in the last 5 games? Who is it?
I got you.
Just look at it. Who was it?
Hold on. I wasn't. My bad.
My bad. I wasn't prepared yet. I don't know.
All right, so we got Miami, Philly, the Raptors, the Magic,
trash without
Kings.
They're missing players. Who else?
Kings.
Trash. Kings been playing well. Kings been playing well as of late.
And Magic wasn't trash. That was Paulo came back and had a hell of a game.
Paulo came back, but Franz Wagner wasn't there. Mo Wagner wasn't there. And again, I don't think they're just some great team. I think again they play hard. But is what it is. My point is you can't. This is all I'm saying before we get to the recap. You can't think of this as how are we playing in the regular season. The Milwaukee Bucks are beyond that. We are beyond let's have a good regular season. Look how well we're playing right now. We are beyond that. every time I watch the Bucks, and I just say the way you can think about it however you. I ain't gonna tell. Can't tell y'all how to fan. Fan however you want to fan. I'm telling you the way I watch the Bucks is from a lens of how do we match up throughout in the Eastern Conference against the top teams, against Boston, against New York, against Cleveland. How do we match up against those guys? That's all I'm thinking about. Is how does that look against? Okay, I see. Great to play these. How does it look against those guys? And again, you get better looks when it's the Clippers because you said who was it? You said it was 76ers. Raptors got a bunch of bums. The Magic point guard, they ain't got no. Right, that's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. The guys how are you gonna look when the James Harden types are in town? Donovan Mitchell. I'm just saying that, and again, James Harden is not is nowhere close to what you may face in Boston with some of those type of players. He ain't better than Tatum. He ain't better than Jaylen Brown at this point in his career. But you see when a guy gets on a heater, we couldn't stop him. Our backcourt, the Bucks backcourt, well, not just the backcourt, but excuse me, our duo of Dame and Giannis, 36 from Giannis, 29 from Dame, but you gave up 40 to James Harden and 33 to Norm Powell. That's how you lose a basketball game. And then, but here's the thing. Here's the kicker. Kawhi only scored 18. He was on a minutes restriction, who looked much better on minutes restriction than Khris Middleton, by the way. But I digress. But I'm just saying, you have 19 bench points. They all come from Gary Trent Jr. Khris Middleton was a non-effing factor. Who was that did that on what was that, Basketball Wives, whatever that show was? You a non-mother effing factor. That's what he was tonight. A non-effing factor. So the only thing I'll say again to the people who were doing all that, you listen, I don't know who the hell you think you are, that you so good that you, again, I'm not even saying that you do trade him for Jeremy Grant or whoever, but who the hell you think you are that you too good to have a conversation about it? You think you too good? I never trade Khris Middleton for. You don't think you wouldn't pick up the phone? Like who do you think he is, dog? That's all I'm saying. Again, I hope he gets back to everything. But 22 again, it's not just 2021. It's last year's playoffs. Last year's playoffs was 2 ankle surgeries ago. That's all I'm saying. I let you give me anything on that, and then I know I kind of took a little monologue instead of going straight to it. But then we'll get to the game recap. My bad.
They got my boy on one, man.
I'm sorry.
You good, bro. This is why we here after dark. Let's just jump into what Doc was talking about from the rip, man. Let's just go to what Doc said tonight. Obviously, too many turnovers.
Yeah.
He thought the Clippers were far more aggressors in the second half. Game came down to bad fouls. A lot of those were egregiously called by that referee team. I just want to point that out there. The reason why James Harden had 40 points, because he's a foul-baiting, flopping bum of a basketball player. That stuff don't belong in the NBA. And we sitting up here trying to take Dame's and ones away. But this is a dude you should be taking this crap away from. Also talked about they hustle for loose balls. So now you about to get more upset. He said that they need to give Khris Middleton more opportunities. They didn't do a good job.
They didn't give him no opportunities?
I'm just telling you.
I'm about to flip the computer, man. They didn't give him enough opportunities?
I should have saved that one for my last point.
Oh, my God.
He said a lot of those guys were getting beat off the dribble.
Yeah, 22. I saw Khris Middleton get beat off the dribble multiple times. Yep.
Clippers were playing downhill. Khris struggled. He had one good stretch. Passed the ball pretty decently tonight a couple times, but that's about it that he did. That's me talking now. And then he said that Rollins will get better. So a couple things from what you said. I agree with mostly all of what you said. I do not want to trade Khris Middleton. I think everybody in the chat, everybody on Twitter knows that. But I'm also not one of the guys that believes that you don't listen to a talk about anybody on this team that's not 34 or 0 or letter O, excuse me. You have to listen to that. This is the worst game I've ever seen Khris play.
By far.
I can't make any excuses for him. I will say that you said that Kawhi looked better on a minutes restriction than Khris. Absolutely. But Kawhi sits out all the time. He don't try to play through injuries. And so he's had more time to sit out, but there's no excuses for Khris tonight. There's no excuse for Ryan Rollins tonight. He was terrible. I mean, we got to think about it. Everybody on the team was a negative with the exception, I believe it was like Pat Connaughton, which is crazy. And Brook was a 0. But hey, man, this is a bad basketball game. I know it's a lot of stuff going on around Twitter talking about how we can't beat this team, we can't beat that team. Look, man, it's a horrible game. No excuses given. But we have beaten some of those good Western Conference teams and stuff like that. So I can't just throw out and say, oh, the Clippers are this and that. I mean, James Harden hit the fountain of youth tonight, and I'm just not a fan of the foul baiting this guy does. And he does it every single time. Like, even when they modify the rules, he finds a way to manipulate the rules, man. I wish a dude just went out there and hoop. But this is the same guy in the Drew League that's trying to draw fouls. In the Drew League. I don't like James Harden. I don't think he should be an all-star. I think he's trash. If we was on T's and Q's, he'd be on my trash list right now, man. I'm pissed too, though. I might throw the clipboard and wake up everybody in the house tonight, man. I don't even have no notes for myself tonight. We just go talk tonight. Hang out with the homie Guru.
Yeah, man. I mean, yeah, let us. I'll get you stuff in the chat in a second. But yeah, I mean, I was just disgusted. There were 18. So everybody played 9 guys, regular legit minutes before the bench guys came in. Bucks played 9 guys. The Clippers played 9 guys, legit minutes. That's 18 players. Khris Middleton was probably the 17th best guy on the floor tonight. Maybe he was better than Nick Batum. I don't even know that. He might have been the worst player to suit up tonight. Nick Batum had 4 rebounds and 2 assists. Khris had 4 rebounds and 1 assist. So yeah, I'll say Nick Batum was better than Khris Middleton. He was the worst. Khris Middleton was the worst player on the floor tonight. That cannot happen for a guy you're paying $30 million to, who's your 3rd best player, and who, by the way, half the fan base who lives in nostalgia tells you that they can't even pick up the phone for. That is looking at you like you crap. That's the audacity. That's what I don't. The audacity of looking at everybody like people who say, I think about trading Khris Middleton is crazy. Again, there's a reason that John Horst has been looking for the last 2 years, has been dangling Khris Middleton in front of trade bait. There's a reason for that. And again, it's a health thing. He just doesn't look good out there, man. He doesn't look good out there on the floor. But let's do a recap. And we'll get into all that in a second. Let's do a recap. Giannis 36-13 tonight, 1 assist. He ended with 4 turnovers. He was a -10 tonight. Turnovers got a little sloppy in the second half. Obviously, Dame Lillard, 29, 10, and 10. Another triple-double for him. He goes 40 minutes. He was a -1 tonight. He had 4 turnovers. So your primary ball handlers, 8 turnovers between them. How about Taurean Prince? Hell of a game for him. 14, 6, and 4. 5 of 8 from 3, 4, 7 from 3. Brook Lopez, 13 and 4. He had 3 blocks, 14, 3, 7 from 3. But man, interesting. 41 minutes from Brook Lopez. Again, no Bobby Portis tonight, personal reasons. Hopefully whatever's going on with him, he's okay. And then you had no AJ Green, who you could have 100% used both of those guys tonight. And to your point, Justin, I know we talked about the rebounds, but yeah, you could have used some because the Bucks were not good on the defensive glass tonight. Andre Jackson Jr., 4 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist. Thought he could have played more, only 10 minutes from him. Gary Trent Jr., 19 points, 2 boards, 2 assists. He was really good, 7 of 11, 5 of 9 from 3. He played very well. You go to the Clippers side of things, Kawhi on a minutes limit, 18, 3, and 4. Derrick Jones Jr. had 4 points, 5 boards. Zubac, 12 points, 10 boards, 28 minutes of action. And the 2 guys who killed you, 73 points between Norm Powell, 33 and 6, and James Harden gives you 40 with 45 boards, 9 assists from James Harden. They didn't do too much with their bench. Amir Coffey had 9 points. And Kevin Porter Jr., actually, he was pretty decent tonight, 8 points, 8 boards, and 3 assists for him. Again, what I saw was a first half I thought was really... The Bucks really, so they lost the game for a couple reasons. One was Khris Middleton. Khris Middleton was Mark Andrews tonight. He was Mark Andrews tonight. He fumbled it at midfield, and then he didn't catch the ball on the goal. That was what he was. I mean, he was again, it was the worst game I've ever seen from him. He was just objectively bad tonight. He gave you nothing on either end. First half, second, there was nothing positive about his game. Nothing positive about his game tonight. And then, so I think he was a reason. The defensive rebounding was a problem tonight. Let's see, the Clippers had 12 offensive rebounds tonight. 12 offensive rebounds for the Clippers. This is way too many. Bucks only had 5. But again, it was just too much. Let me see what the three-point shooting looked like. Bucks were 13 of 35. The Clippers were only 11 of 34. So again, it was the defensive rebounding. It was Khris Middleton, and then at the it was really the second half. You let James Harden dominate the third quarter, but you got out of it. You got out of it. You were only down 1. You actually took the lead to start the fourth. And I mean, but everything just went away. Norm Powell went crazy. I mean, everything went away. And so I think Doc Rivers has to look at what he's doing with the rotations, because the minutes are fine. Like in a game like this, Dame plays 40 minutes, Giannis goes 35. You have to, and I get it, what he likes. Again, the rotations are always the same. Giannis usually plays all of the first, and he plays about half of the third, second, and then he plays all the third, and he plays, between 6-7 minutes of the fourth. But and again, it's very hard, and it's really hard to do when you don't have your third guy to run anything when he's not on the court. And again, you got guys missing tonight, but I guess what I'm saying is, you may have to think about starting Giannis in the fourth quarter, and the break you give him is maybe you let Giannis play the first 4 or 5 minutes of maybe you got to find a way to work the minutes to where Giannis plays the first 4 or 5 minutes of the fourth quarter and then sits for maybe 2 or 3. So maybe you don't play him as much in the third. I'm fine with first and second. I'm fine doing it like that. In the third, maybe you have to give him a 3 or 4 minute break. A 3-minute break to end the third, and he's got to start the fourth. And then maybe maybe you'd switch it like this is what I would do. I would probably switch it to where Giannis plays 9 minutes of the third quarter and sits 3 minutes of the rest of the quarter, but he plays the first 3 or 4 of the fourth, and you give him a 3-minute break, and that's where you get your 6 minutes. Because if you wanted to sit for the first 6 of the fourth, instead of giving him the break for the entire 6 minutes of the fourth, you give him a break the end of the third, and then maybe from, like I said, that 8 to 5 minute mark in the fourth quarter, and then you bring him back, because you just can't start fourth quarters off. Like, this is multiple times I've seen this now, where you have a lead or you're right there, and by the time he gets back in, you're down 12. You're down 12, and it is just very hard to play like that. And again, I'm not, Dame was really good tonight. Again, shooting the ball wasn't great, 6 of 18, 1 of 9 from 3, but he was 16 to 17 from the line. Giannis was 12 15 from the line. I'll say this too on the free. Remember all the time, I'd rather have the free throw. People, they just kill me with this I know it all stuff. Wouldn't you? I'd rather have the free throws than the mid range. Yeah, it's 12 15 from the line tonight, lost by 10. Yeah, I saw about 4 mid-range jumpers he missed. That's 8 points right there. So again, I'll take the mid-rangers. Thank you. Sick of people. I'm just so sick of the arrogance that these people. I sit here with the clipboard and I know every stat that you could think of. I'm sick. Jeremy Grant actually is the percentages. He's shooting 36% from 2. So that doesn't. I test. Khris Middleton can shoot whatever the hell you want him to shoot from 2, from 3. A great decision making. He can't move. Don't give me numbers. Don't give me numbers when I watch a guy not move. I'd rather this guy can't do it. But when he can't, but when he's healthy, he can move. That's the difference. I'm telling you about some numbers. Y'all tell me what your eyes see, man. Don't go. I'm telling you, please. Again, if you can, you don't have to. This is not rocket science. You don't have to put in mathematical equations to figure out good players versus bad. That's what statisticians do. That's what people who try to determine who is a better player for some type of an award do. It's okay to use your eyes and say, hey, this doesn't feel right. Like last time I get in, Justin, you go. I know I'm yapping right now.
You're fine.
But last time I say, okay, James Harden's cooking. I know that the percentages probably don't work with Ajax and what offensively, and he may mess up your flow. But at some point, you've got to go back to Andre Jackson Jr. and say, hey, I need you to stick on him. Because right now, Gary Trent Jr. is getting cooked right now. And Gary Trent had a great game, but we got to make an adjustment. We got to double and get the ball out of his hands. Now, Norman Powell went crazy. But I don't know. The zone it didn't work. The zone didn't work as well tonight. It worked in the first half for some, but that third and the fourth quarter was just bad. And again, there's some nights where James Harden took back went back in time and looked like prime James Harden for the third and the fourth quarter game. Norm Powell is a known Bucks killer, and he killed the Bucks. And you just go in zone. Hey, we'll go 2-3. Again, will it work? Yeah. Will it work against Sacramento? And it worked against the Nets, and it might work against the Raptors. It's got to work against the top teams. That's who you got to be looking and beating. So again, I'm not blaming Doc at all, because again, it's very hard when you're missing Bobby, you're missing AJ, and you miss Khris Middleton tonight. He didn't show up either. Three guys didn't show up for work tonight. So again, he was in a bad situation. He played Brook Lopez 40 minutes, but it is what it is. What's up?
4 guys ain't show up for work. Don't forget Ryan Rollins was atrocious tonight too.
Oh, he did. Yeah, the decision. He has some bad decision making. Yeah, I agree.
So first of all, it's a loss. So we know Coach RJ is going to be running crazy in the chats. He's back. It's imagine this guy's on the East Coast with us. He stays up for a loss. We got a 5-game win streak. This dude, Coach RJ's nowhere to be found.
Is he in here? Oh wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. Coach RJ, that's Coach RJ, dog. That's crazy work. That's crazy work.
We might need to add him to that list, dog.
That's crazy work.
It's just foolish, man. Like the reason why Giannis misses layups and stuff like that, and the reason why Brook missed some of that stuff down low, they're getting hacked. And that's and then we're not gonna do a whole lot on these referees and stuff like that, because the Bucks were bad enough where we don't even got to look at the referees. But you remember when Harden got that and one where he picked the ball up, walked, and then took 2 steps and shot the ball?
Yeah, you talking about the one with the rip through?
Correct. Yeah. No, not the rip. Not the one on Dame. The one on Gary Trent Jr.
I'm trying to. I can't.
He got an and one where he banked it off the backboard, held the ball. Like the continuation was like
yes. That's the one I'm talking. I'm saying he. Yeah, you're talking about the rip through. Yeah, you're talking about the rip through on Dame. I remember that. Yes, you're talking about the one he was driving through the lane. Yeah, I thought he ripped through that when he got to the. Yes, I know what you're talking about. Yep. I'm with you.
Was it a foul? Absolutely. But the way that we've seen Damian Lillard referee this year, that can't be an and one. Like we just got. There's no consistency with this stuff. They allow that dude Harden. He can't guard Giannis on no day, on the post, on the perimeter, anywhere on there. That's why Giannis had a mid-game for Giannis and scored 36 on his head. And had they called half those other fouls, he probably would have had 48, 50 on the dude. I just get frustrated with that, man. Look, man, I don't have any excuses for Khris Middleton. I don't, and I think you know me well from doing these and just from our conversations. I don't make excuses for Bobby either. I don't make excuses for Ryan Rollins. I think that Bobby showed if we're going to trade our big, we have to get someone to back up Brook Lopez or back up Bobby if Bobby's going to be our starting 5. We tremendously missed those, your words, and homeboy on Twitter, fake rebounds, because if we had 10 to 12 of those fake rebounds tonight, we win this basketball game. Now, the other thing the Clippers did is they went small. This is where Doc and the coaching staff kind of dropped the ball to me. You got to go back to Brooklyn Brook there. Put him on that block. And if you go put Amir Coffey or you're going to put the Jones Jr. boy on him or whoever the hell it is, let them put back to basket and drop step. It can't just be Giannis down there. I think that's where Bobby really does a great job. When you put that small forward dude on him, he go back that dude to the basket and get a bucket on him, man. Hey, look, man. The chat go crazy about Middleton. Twitter go crazy on Middleton. Look, I'm not here to trade everybody. I just want this to be a blip on the radar. I hope that Khris can, like you said before, can get it up and going. He's one of my favorite Bucks of all time, man. I think that at some point the 22 will be retired. But, man, this is just tough, man. And I don't really feel like the Clippers are a better team than us either.
I don't either. And again, it took if it takes James Harden don't have, again, as I'm saying, in this series, again, not in the Western Conference anyway, but I'm not really worried about the Clippers. If it takes James Harden getting you 40 and Norm Powell 30, I feel like the Bucks work that out and they'll be fine. I'm okay with that.
You know what's funny though? their last game wasn't their last game against whoever their last. I think it was Boston that the Clippers played. None of them dudes played. They circled this game on their calendar. Norman Powell didn't play. Kawhi didn't. Well, Kawhi barely plays anyways. James Harden didn't play either. It was a bunch of the front of the jersey dudes running out there, and they were ready in the second half. We got to be better, man. We got to be better. That's all I got to say about it, man. We got to be better.
Yeah, again, and I'm a little animated. The loss is not why I'm in. I'm really not as animated about the loss or the win. You won 5 in a row coming into. You're on a 4-game West Coast trip, front end of it. Yeah, and you were missing you're missing guys tonight. So yeah, the loss isn't why I'm upset. I'm just animated at the fact again that the way we played. And really the play of Khris Middleton just really gets me. Again, it's really just about how people talk and feel like they're superior, their thoughts are this or that. And again, my eyes don't lie to me, man. The front office has these same feelings, whether they trade him or not. There's a reason they're looking into this. And again, you're lying to yourself. You are lying to yourself if you don't have questions about whether he can hold up throughout a 7-game series, as we're talking about in May for long straight. You're lying to yourself if you don't go, I don't know if he's got it anymore. Let's go to the chat. IO says 0 points, man, question mark. Yeah, I'm with you. I got all questions, no answers. Al Ucar says, at this point, I'd rather trade Khris than Bobby, and that's saying something. Wow. So this is the thing. That's the only thing. The pendulum will swing so far on trading guys, and you have people ready to defend Chris's honor the other before this game, and now tonight they've taken their swords and put him right back, and it's like, nah, we gotta get him out of here. That's how quick this goes. Young City says Khris is washed, sad to see. Quick Draw McGraw says, told you we need a third option, we don't have one. Charles Mills says 24 second chance points. Turnovers. What a terrible few minutes in the middle of the fourth. Yeah, the turnovers were bad too. Even when Giannis got back, it was almost like the first few minutes of that fourth sucked the entire life out of the game. And once the momentum was lost, it is demoralizing to be down 1 point and then you got to come back and in the blink of an eye you're down 12, man. It is demoralizing. So yeah, it was bad. Anthony Lacey says this game proves you definitely have to make a move. Quick Draw McGraw just played there. Khris got the ball against Coffee. I remember this in the spot mid-post. Couldn't get a shot off. He ran the ball back out the perimeter, gave the Dame. Brings you to tears. Yes, I remember that vividly. Where Khris, you're thinking Khris is going to go to his patented back down, spin, get a shot. He barely could control the basketball. Barely could control the ball. About lost it. Yeah, it was rough.
That play was super alarming to me. And then the other one when it might have been Coffee or it might have been Jones Jr. where Khris was in perfect position to get the defensive rebound and the dude just kind of jumped over him and grabbed the ball. Yes. Like those are two things that really scares me about Khris Middleton. And again, just so we're clear, Justin doesn't want to trade Khris. I want Khris to play better. I want all these dudes to play better. But hey, man, I want a championship too. And you know the beautiful thing? If we trade Khris, DJ Augustine got a ring. What's the other dude? DJ Wilson Jr. got a ring. And who else? Some other dude we traded that year still got a ring. So Khris will still get a ring. He'll be a 2-time champion. Yeah, tired of that dude's number in the rafters, man.
That's fine. Yeah, yeah. Again, he's definitely going into the rafters. There's no question about it. That he's been a valuable member of this team for a long time. But yeah, I don't know. It was bad tonight, man. It was so bad tonight. I
gotta hope he come back against Portland and Utah and cook.
But here's the thing, though, Justin. Here's the thing. What is cooking for Khris is now 13-5-5. Like remember that is now like the good game from Khris is like 15-5-5. It's like woo, we had a Khris game tonight. That's a Khris.
Hey. These next three, I need 25-7-7. Like I need him to come back and show us. He got to show us, man.
Your lips to God's ears. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it. Coach Artie says y'all shot more free throws. Stop crying. Doesn't matter. For I say all the time. Basketball games aren't meant. I hate when people go we had this many free throws. They had this many free throws. And like the games are not meant to be officiated so that free throws end up even. Like that's not how this goes. By the way, that talk about the Intuit Dome and the Intuit Arena, whatever, and has this wall. Whoo! Hey, Giannis shot the hell out the free throws on that wall, man. Y'all keep counting,
Yeah,
please
keep
count.
counting.
Please count.
Keep counting.
That man.
Hey.
I need a wall like that. They need to do that in Fiserv. Let's count for Giannis free throws in Fiserv, and he'll knock them all down.
Next Bucks game we go to, we're gonna be in Bucks gear. We still gonna be counting.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm looking, and again, talking about the traveling too. If you're bumped off the travels, I didn't like them either because if you're bumped off your spot and that forces you to shuffle your feet, why? I don't understand why we're calling travel there. Like that. That's literally what happened. DJ Droop says Milton got that Matador defense. Ian says, yeah, Romani's MFers a lot. Yeah, like the pod, man. Y'all in here like it. Especially, yeah, if you thought Milton had a bad game today, put the like, get your like in there. Please do that. And yeah, to your point, Justin, it was that I don't know if it was Coffee. It might have been Derrick Jones Jr. You're right, but Khris was in perfect position to get the board. And again, and I tweeted, it was either he didn't want it, and again, I feel like he did want it, or he just didn't have the lift to go get it. Either way, that was it was rough. And Nick, yeah, we were missing Bobby and AJ Green, no doubt about it. But that, again, I'm not giving that as an excuse at this point in this season. Teams are missing guys all over, and again, it's not about the loss. You played well enough to not get blown out to start the fourth quarter. That was fine, and it was just disheartening to watch how Khris played. Again, the defense and I ask you this, Justin. Did you have an issue with Doc Rivers? Anything Doc Rivers did from a defensive standpoint against Harden and against Norm Powell?
Absolutely, man. You got to put Andre Jackson Jr. back in that ball game, man. You noticed when you had TP and Ajax switching off on Harden and Powell, they were struggling in that first half, especially that first quarter. And then we let Harden start cooking, and we're like, all right, well, we'll let this guy or that guy check him, and it didn't work. You gotta, and Doc, you gotta do that. I think, or like you said earlier, double it, get the ball out the dude's hands. Now the problem is when you double it, you leave Powell, who's a good basketball player, probably should be an all-star this year. Way more of an all-star this year than what James Harden's been. I mean, we got to understand, this is James Harden's only good game of 2024, 2025. I feel everything else, his shooting percentages are lower, his free throws are lower. Everything about this guy's game sucks, and it's washed. Except for tonight, which is crazy. So that just gives me the glimmer of hope that maybe Khris Middleton's going to come back because James Harden sucked all year, and he's going to play better. I don't know, man. Man, I'm probably about to wake up the whole damn house. I'm so upset, man. I'm real upset, man, but I try to keep it together, man. And you're right. The basketball game, talking about we shot more free throws, is not apples to apples when Giannis is going to the bucket because you put these little dudes on him. When Brook is drop stepping to the bucket, they're getting hacked. They called a jump ball on one of them things when dudes had each one of Brook's elbows. Yeah. And look, we're not blaming the refs because Doc did enough to make us lose it. Khris Middleton did enough. Ryan Rollins did enough. Giannis did it. Let's be clear. This game tonight was not a good game for Giannis. He had good numbers, but Giannis is a much better basketball player than this. And I'm talking about the turnovers, the efficiency with the ball, etc. This was not a good game for Dame. He's 1 for 9. So your two best players played a mid-game, 36 and 29. That is what's going to help me wake up in the morning with a smile on my face.
Yeah, no. Again, I agree. I thought, especially in that fourth quarter, I thought Giannis had some opportunities, and Dame didn't shoot the ball, efficiently outside of getting to the free throw line. I thought it was a very aggressive early, and then the turnovers really killed him late, and then Giannis had some turnovers as well in that third quarter and in that fourth quarter. Yeah, Io says Harden gave us 40, Brunson gave us 40. Again, there's a question about the guards, and I also thought that the Clippers did a good job, especially I thought in that third quarter, of really trying to get Damian Lillard involved in the actions, really setting the screens and making Dame defend. So I think they did they did a good job of getting to their spots and figuring out what they wanted to get us into. And again, it made Harden effective. And it's funny because MJ on the broadcast, I think Harden hit it's funny how he knew Harden hit 1-3 and MJ said, "Uh oh." And I was like, and I mean, the avalanche started like right after that. It got rough. So again, it was one of those things. The momentum, you felt it, but the Bucks were there. They were really there.
But if Marcus Johnson can see that 100,000 feet above the court, where the broadcast view is, Doc is courtside. And listen, I think Doc is a very good basketball coach. I am not taking anything away. But Doc, you got to see that. And even if you put Ajax in and he gives him a hard foul, and I'm not condoning any of that, maybe that sends a message and it throws Harden. You got to do something to throw this dude off his game. I mean, think about it like this, Trey. When I played golf, if you're killing me, I'm going to say something to you. I'm going to say something. I got to get you off your game. Hey, Io's absolutely right as far as Jalen Brunson gave us 40. The difference between Brunson and Harden is I don't think Harden could ever do that again to this Bucks team. Brunson could do it again.
Yeah, no, he absolutely can. And I agree. Again, I'm going with James Harden. He turned out the clock tonight. And you got to give him credit for it. He hit shots and he did his normal grifting. Got to the basket, got fouled, all of that stuff. He did it, and you tip your cap on some of those plays. I thought he hit, he's a lot of chicken wings and all the kind of stuff that he had. Yeah. I thought the foul on Khris Middleton, the Bucks challenge, I thought that should have been a no call. But I wouldn't even call it a try. I just thought it was a no call. Like I didn't think Harden really extended, but Khris didn't really do it. Like Harden initiated all the contact. He didn't go all the way out, but he just gave him a little chicken wing and he missed a shot. You can't call a foul for that every time. But yeah, so I didn't appreciate that. Sammy says, y'all need to chill out on Khris. Bro had one bad night. Again, it's not about one bad night. It's a trend. He has not played this poorly. But the trend, it continues of a guy that cannot move, a guy that, again, it's really about the mobility for me. And the fact, like I said, that play where Coffee was on him and he couldn't figure out a way to get a shot off, it was bad. And again, Khris can still shoot the ball. Khris can still typically get to his spots and shoot the ball. But again, to me, the jury's out on how to play him. If you play him tough, and again, tonight was an outlier. He shouldn't be as bad as 0 point. Like, I don't think he's that bad. But I think if you play him very tough and you get up in him and you really, start to try to rough him up a little bit, I think that he, you can get him off of his game. It can cause him turnovers. It can cause him to fumble around the ball, and he can get his shot off. So, I mean, again, you got to shoot better, though. You got to shoot better.
And that's always been Khris, though, right? Like, his handle has always been suspect. Even when he was in his prime, when he was an all-star. Khris Middleton does not have a great handle, and he turns the balls over. Hey, Sammy, I hear you. Hey, look, man, and the dudes will tell you, I'm here with the homies because I'm a homer. Like, I don't want to get rid of Khris Middleton, right? Like, I've been calling for Marcus Johnson number to be retired the entire time, but he had that tiff with Herb Cole. Marcus Johnson he's probably my favorite first Buck that I remember as a little boy, young and running around. But the thing that scares me, Sammy, is everything that Trey mentioned, man. Like, Khris did not look good tonight. I hope it is an outlier, but we can't be the Cream City crossover, and we can't be 100 thorough guys, and you can't be 100 as a Bucks fan if you look at tonight. And even if you don't want to trade them and you're sitting in my seat, to say that you're not worried. Because it's worried me tonight. And you talked about Jeremy Grant, Trey. You talked about Robert Williams. I mean, sheesh. I watched these last few games. Them brothers hooping over there. Robert Williams is looking like a freak of nature and doing great things. And I mean, if you can see that, and we understand he doesn't have a perimeter shot, et cetera, but he going to protect that rim and he going to run and dunk it. And he gonna play some good defense for you. And Jeremy Grant, man, we gotta remember this Khris Middleton we're looking at right now is not all-star Khris. Is Chris's career better than Jeremy Grant's right now? Absolutely. But Jeremy Grant might have more left in the tank than what Khris Middleton has right now. And that's okay, because we always gonna love 22 regardless. I still don't want to trade him, but I'd be a fool if I didn't look at it, right?
100%. Again, you 100% be a fool if you weren't looking into it and trying to figure out what the best thing was for the team. Quick Draw McGraw says, people say Khris has never been athletic. Nah, this is different. I agree. this is different. And because Khris has never been the most athletic guy in the room. But yeah, this is a little bit different what we're watching. And tonight was one of those sad moments where it was one of those things where you know, you ever thought, man, maybe somebody's an older family member is losing it, and they may repeat themselves a few times or whatever. And you go, man, maybe the person. And then tonight was a night where you go, we might have to take the keys from Grandpa tonight. Might have to take the keys because I don't know that Grandpa can drive by himself no more. This is the moment where they ran into something or ran over somebody or something, and you're like, hey, that's it, no more. We tried it. You no longer can be independent. You've got to start thinking about whether it's time. And again, I don't know, put Khris out the pasture. I don't want to say it like that, but man, you got to think about whether it's time. Tonight was bad. I mean, that was bad. I've never ever. I've watched Justin. You know the same thing. You've watched. Both of us have probably watched almost every dribble Khris Middleton's ever dribbled in a Milwaukee Bucks uniform. Every single one. I remember when the trade went down, right? And the Bucks got Khris Middleton.
Throw-in.
Right. He was a throw-in, right? A throw-in. I've never. It's never been that bad. It's never been that bad. It's never been that bad.
So, yeah, I don't know if John Hassel's talking to me when he says that. Help me understand, sir. About I just said that Khris Middleton isn't right now in his current form, isn't where Jeremy Grant is. I'm not saying that, but if you look at Khris Middleton's career, we're talking about a two-time All-Star. We win the championship without this dude and all that stuff. But that's not the same Khris we have here, right? It's not. But what I'm going to tell you, and what I'm going to tell all of you, the fact that Khris, because was Quick Draw McGraw that said Khris has never been athletic. He's absolutely right. I mean, that's the reason why there's a standing ovation anytime he gets close to a dunk, right? Previous to this, we talking about in 20 or 19 or 18. If Khris put two hands on the rim, we're all standing up and cheering. But the thing is, Khris has always had that old school game where he could get that jump shot off. And it may have been Quick Draw McGraw. It may have been someone else in the chat that mentioned it. But if he can't get that shot up, and he's not going to be able to do that. But I'm going to say one last thing. I'm going to let you go, Trey. My bad. So I think as atrocious as what Chris's defense was tonight, it was equal to Bradley Beal's normal defense, by the way.
Well, again, my thing is, but Bradley. The thing is, Bradley Beal can move, and again, I can take atrocious defense. You're going to be 20 points on the other end. You're going to do something for me. IO says he has a question. What's the significance of getting under the second apron? That's a great question. February 3rd, we'll have my guy, a capologist, Danny Levin on, front office expert. He'll give you all that. But again, the significance of getting under the second apron is really so that you can aggregate contracts when you're talking about moving, when you're talking about trading. So right now, technically, like the Bucks cannot trade multiple guys in one trade. If I'm correct upon this. Because they're because they're in that second apron. If you can get off Pat Connaughton, get into the first apron, then you can aggregate salaries to help you get off of trades. So that is the difference of being in the first apron versus the second apron, or at least the most significant difference. I think there are other differences as far as tax consequences and those type of things for first and second apron team. But I think for the Bucks reasons, the reason they want to be in the first apron is so that they can aggregate salaries as they as they try to make trades or potentially want to get into the trade business. But again, tonight was a bad night for Khris, and it was a bad night for the reason I say it's a bad night for even trying to trade Khris, because every time we see it, other teams look at it too. Right. So they're watching that too. You know where it's always. Go ahead.
My bad, because I know my bad. I interrupted the best spot in the world. But hey, quick question. So, because the brother mentioned it as far as the second apron, how does that parlay into our being able to sign players that have been bought out?
You can't. So the Bucks will not be able to sign buyout players first or second apron. You can't. You're not allowed. If you are in any of those, the first or second apron, you cannot sign a buy. You cannot get one of the buyout players. I know. I thought I heard that potentially Bruce Brown might be a buyout option, which would be a great. I think he'd be a great addition for the Bucks. He is not a candidate right now unless you cannot be in any one of the aprons. Under my understanding, to be able to get a player that is that becomes bought out. So again, another example of where you're not going to find a lot of help is in the buyout market for teams that are aproned and in that luxury tax kind of issue there. But again, where they're not washed at, nothing's washed over there. You know where it ain't washed?
Hey, it's Curly's. We might have needed about 16 $3 joints tonight after this game,
Curly's
man.
Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill out in Pewaukee, Wisconsin, Lake Pewaukee. Get out there to Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill. Have some fun. Every televised Milwaukee Bucks game, $3 what?
Pints.
$3 bottles and pints out there. Proud sponsor of the Cream City Crossover, Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill. Wednesday, Thursday nights are doing bingo and trivia. You know what they do? You know what happened if you do well in bingo, do well in trivia, Justin?
We're going to give you some good Bucks tickets for a team that's won 5 out of the last 6.
Absolutely. Get some good Bucks tickets. Section 102, row 23, seats 1 and 2. Get out to Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill every Wednesday night bingo, every Thursday night trivia. Let them know the Guru sent you. Let them know the Cream City Crossover sent you out there to Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill. We would appreciate that if you did that.
So when we get to the mill, man, we got to do a pregame at Curly's the night before the game or something, man. Had a chat come out and rock with us, man, at Curly's. Maybe we get the homie to throw some $3 pints on there and stuff like that, man. And we gonna go up, man.
Oh yeah, no, I'd love to take a trip out to Curly's and enjoy it, man. Great wings, great atmosphere, great food, all of that. Get out there to Curly's and enjoy yourself. And sometimes you gotta drown in your sorrows in a loss like this too, man. That was tough.
Them Celtics fans in the chat talking about we lost to the Clippers. Sir, didn't you just lose to the Raptors? And God knows he's like, chill out, dog. Don't come in here 5-5 in your last 10 talking trash, man.
Yeah, and I'm
a couple games above 500.
I'm not worried about Boston. I'm not worried about Boston right now. I mean, tough loss, man. I really wish the Bucks had got this. Because again, you got New York's on a 3-game win streak. The Cleveland Cavaliers have lost 3 in a row. The Bucks were really starting to ascend and surge. Other team that's playing really well, 8. So the Bucks are 8-2 in their last 10. Indiana 8-2 in their last 10 as well. But man, that's just tough. Again, I get it, guys out, but it was just tough the way it happened tonight. Didn't enjoy it. Left a sour taste in my mouth. Let's go to Twitter and see. Let's see what they're saying on Twitter.
Trade everybody.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Trade Doc Rivers.
Yeah, well, let's see what we got here. At the Wisconsin Kid says, we play a good team and get exposed. Once again, Middleton just did 20 minutes of cardio. Patton Rollins, 10 minutes, 0 points. Ajax, damn near unplayable. This team needs multiple trades. GA_hoop says, time to have a difficult conversation about our beloved Khris Middleton. At JR Horva says, I want Khris traded tomorrow. I will take Jeremy Grant 3 years at 32. 22 is a 0. I'm so done with this nonsense. At Cloud Festy says, again, young athletic teams got the roster shaking in their boots. Let's see what else we got here. Armill53 says, Doc performed coaching malpractice by not playing Ajax at all in the second half after the first few minutes. This team completely forgot how to play basketball in the fourth, and Lillard was awful from 3, which hurt us. Plus, Giannis could have been better despite the stats. At NYC Randy says, like I said, since the first week of seeing Khris Middleton, and you told me I overreacted, Khris Middleton is beyond washed. The man can't move, can't dribble, can't stay in front of a cone, and we got Buck fans telling me he's untouchable, like Jimmy or Levine or worse than him. Pull the trigger, John Horse. I see an AI photo of I'll just show it to you. This is an AI photo of Khris Middleton right here. Says also, what the hell does Doc have against Ajax? Let's do a couple more here. At JadX7070 says, still don't want Beal, but an even lower ceiling, higher floor role player will be significantly better. And then For Local Enjoyer says, we're not beating the can't beat top teams I lost. We're not beating the. Yeah, I don't know where it went. I just lost it. But I think he was basically saying that we're not beating the. Oh, we can't beat the top team's allegations. Khris needs to go if his performance tonight doesn't convince people he is washed. Nothing will. This squad will not win a chip. And I'll do one more. At Clay's Son Union says not going to win much with 13 turnovers and 20 plus second chance points. Wings were made to be mincemeat tonight. Giannis got billed in the paint as a defender by Zubac. Bad loss, undisciplined, shabby effort tonight. Alpha Leopard says, peace. Glad I came in and dominated. I don't know. Alpha these fools.
Well, he's talking about the Barrett channel runs it and all. Yeah.
Oh, wait. What? I haven't even been looking. I don't know. What did he say about the Barrett channel?
He started out and he's like, where is he at? Barrett channel runs over this.
Oh, wait.
Hey, Mac, don't tell me you're not that guy, Mac. I'm him. I may just like the video now because Trey carried the whole show.
Okay, I'm not even sure who this guy is. Okay.
Trey is a total boss. He does carry the show. I'm just happy to be here.
Nah, man. I just didn't know who I just didn't know what he's talking about here. He came in and dominated Alpha these fools. I don't know what he's talking about. Okay.
Wisconsin kid is absolutely off. The Twitter dude. Okay. He's off about 90% of the time. It's okay though, dog. We still love you. You can't say Ajax was unplayable when the time he was in the game, he played very well. He never got an opportunity to get back on the game. And I thought he made a couple takes to the basket that were good. And he had a good kick out to TP. I know that we're talking about he gets the ball, he doesn't shoot, but that's the modern day NBA. So I thought Ajax played great. I'm going to give you a spoiler. No, never mind. Go ahead. Shit, I'm just going to give my game ball to Ajax right now.
Oh, okay.
He should have been on that floor longer, dog.
Yeah, I agree. Ajax should have got some more opportunity tonight. I would definitely agree with that. He didn't. So, it is what it is. I think Jock Rivers has some explaining to do as to why he didn't adjust the game plan. I didn't understand the post-game pressure where he's like, Khris had needed more opportunities. I mean, he can't create. I mean, again, it's tough. Oh, you got the is that the Dame hat? That's nice. I need one.
Yeah,
at No Strays Entertainment says, I'm old enough to remember after barely beating Father Flanagan's Children of the Poor, Bucks Nation was too good for a 50-point score and picks. Now look. Too good for a 50-point score and pick. I don't know who's he talking about.
Yeah, you got to explain that a little bit better there.
I'm not getting that. There's Barrett. Barrett's in the chat. Hey, listen, Barrett, I'm just gonna tell you. Ain't nothing you can say tonight, dog. I don't want to hear it. Listen, they need to feed. No, ain't nobody feeding Mitty nothing. Mitty was trash. 2-pack of ass. You're not about to sit here and tell me. And again, I hope he goes to 50. When the Bucks play again? They play again what? Monday
in Utah.
I hope he goes to 65 in Utah. But you're not going to erase what I just saw. He was one of the worst players in the association tonight. Every millimeter. Yeah, millimeter that. Yeah, how about a millimeter, centimeter, all that. That was terrible.
Yeah, and we can't come in here like, and I get it, man. Like you loved you love Mitty and stuff like that. I think we all do. I think it gets a little bit misconstrued, and a lot of Bucks fans, I see it on Twitter all the time. We go back and forth on, hey man, if you want to trade this guy, if you want to trade that guy, you're not a true Bucks fan or anything else like that. And that's just not really the case, man. Like everybody has a different Bucks vision from their angles, man. And everybody start this Bucks thing at a different spot. It doesn't matter who you are, when you started liking the Bucks, you're here for a reason, and we're here to get to this championship.
Yeah, 100%. Here to get 100%. And that's the thing. If Khris is here after the deadline, we're gonna root for him and hope that he competes and does what he's supposed to do. If he's not, it is what it is. Quick Jim McGraw says, question, if Khris has a good game against Portland, Utah, what exactly does that prove? Nothing. Because again, I told you how I looked at it from a little bit earlier in the show. I'm always looking at it from a lens of how do you compare and compete with Boston, Cleveland, and New York. And so until I see it on a consistent basis against top level teams, against teams I think that are comparable to those type of teams, no, it's really not going to mean that much to me. Because again, I've seen the difference is Giannis doesn't just do this against bad teams. Giannis does what he does. He puts up numbers every single night. Don't put whoever you
Every
want to
night.
put on him. Put 10 different defenses on him. You want to single coverage him, he's going to score. You want to double coverage him, he's going to pass him. You want, however you want to do it, he's going to do it. Now, I do think the Clippers had a good game plan tonight. They touched him up a little bit. He hit free throws. But notice, Giannis only had tonight, what do you have, 1 assist?
Yep.
1 assist tonight. That's a little unusual for Giannis. So they definitely did take away some of the passing lanes for him, and wanted to make him be a scorer. And I think they it was effective. I think the worst version of Giannis for other teams to face is when he's giving you points and he's kicking it out and threes and you just get off balance. I don't think the Clippers ever got off balance. I think they knew what they wanted to do. They were going to foul him. He was going to score. He was going to get his points, and you're going to foul him and live with the results of the line. And that's what they did. And again,
and that's what Doc.
Go ahead.
Sorry, go. That's what Doc talks about, though. When they're moving the ball, it's easier for them to score.
Right.
And we saw a lot of that stop tonight. For me, if Middleton comes out and he has a good game against Portland and Utah, where my seat is, I want him to continue to keep building on it.
My question: what is a good game, Justin? That's the thing. Are we at this point where we treating Khris Middleton like a Make-A-Wish kid, and we're like, what is a good game? Is a good game 15-5? As you said 20. You said 20 something. That's what I'm saying. Like
25.
Yeah,
20. I need 25, man. I think the old man Jay is there. He has it. He got to put it up, man. But I don't. So I'm not one of these. But look, I've seen. Well, I didn't see Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I saw Ray Allen traded. I saw Michael Redd play for a different team.
Yeah.
I saw Sidney Moncrief, Paul Pressey, all these dudes, Marcus Johnson, all these dudes play for different teams. So I'm not so sold to the back of the jersey where I can't see a guy that I like, that I respect, play for a different team. And as Bucks fans, we all got to be realistic with ourselves and just understand. Like, listen, for anybody that's a Khris Middleton fan, the way that Trey is, the way that I am, the way that anybody else is, an alarming fact tonight, Tyler Smith had a better basketball game in 4.5 minutes than what Khris Middleton had during crunch time. And this was a game where we needed a third scoring option to get over the hump, and we didn't have it.
And to Nick C's point, she's 15-5 is a great game for Khris Middleton at this point in his career. That's the best we can hope for. That's not enough for your third. That's what I'm telling you. Because it's not 15-5 with lockdown defense. It's defensively, we know it's a wrap. So we're really only talking about the offensive side of the ball. That's what I'm saying. It can't be, is my wish. It can't be that. We can't look at Khris like he's a charity case. And 15-5. Oh, it was good for his standard. No, man. Is it good enough is it good enough? Period. Not is it good enough for Khris. That's all I'm saying. And I get no strays. So no strays is saying, we were kind of the same thing I was saying to start the show. You're scoffing your nose at these prolific players as if Khris Middleton's so much better than them. But it is what it is.
For me, it's not about Khris Middleton being better than Beal. That's not where I'm at. I don't think that Beal's a good fit on this team. I would entertain, and there's a lot of people that said it in the chat, the Levine thing, obviously, but I would entertain Jeremy Grant before I entertain Bradley Beal or Jimmy Butler. And it's not about, are they better basketball players than Bradley Beal? I don't think that on Bradley Beal's worst day and Jeremy Grant's best day, Jeremy Grant's a better basketball player than
today.
But is he? Huh?
Today?
Then yeah, I don't think that Jeremy Grant is better than Bradley Beal.
Oh, Bradley Beal. Oh, okay. Oh, Bradley Beal.
No. Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal we're talking
about. Okay. Yeah.
But I don't think that Bradley Beal is a better fit for the Milwaukee Bucks than Jeremy Grant. And we don't need someone to take the ball away from Giannis and Dame and need the ball in their hand to become ball dominant. We need guys that can, and Jeremy Grant's proven this in his career because he's never been the guy no matter where he's been. It's been Simmons or Simons, whatever his name is, in Portland. And Detroit, correct me if I'm wrong, but that was the Blake Griffin teams and all them other teams where he was just kind of there off the wing, making plays and hitting shots. Perfect fit. And Rob Will, I mean, dog, if that dude can stay healthy, man, like his upside is tremendous.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And then, I'm just looking at Barrett talking about he's good and Khris needs more minutes. Yeah, he can't. That's the thing. They're limiting his minutes because they're telling the coaching staff and whether it's the coaching staff and training staff in conjunction or what, they're telling you he can't handle them. That's all. They are. I'd love for him to play more. They're telling you he can't. I don't know. Khris may be part of that. Say, my legs can't do it. They're telling you he can't do it. That's all. All right. Again, we can talk about this all night long. We've been on it. Let's do it. Let's do game balls. And like I said, man, hope for a better result on Monday. But yeah, it is late. Let's keep rolling with the program here. Game ball.
I gave my bad. I mean, I gave my game ball already to Ajax. So I'm gonna give Chris King's game ball because I definitely ain't giving it to James Harden. I don't care if he scored 100. I wouldn't get to do the ball because I don't like him. Fight me in the comments. I'm gonna give Chris King's game ball, Torian Prince. Thought he played a great game for us. She showed up to hoop tonight.
I'll do so for John's game ball, for JT's game ball. I'm gonna give JT's game ball to Damian Lillard because he's gonna go with the Bucks no matter what. It's a triple double from Dame. He always thinks Giannis has too many on the mantle, so he would give it to Dame. And my game ball, you know me, you got to win to get in. And listen, man, I'm gonna give my game ball. It's co MVPs tonight. Norm Powell and James Harden can get to split the game ball. 40 points for James Harden, 5 boards, 9 assists, 33 and 6. Norm Powell. Listen, man, you 100%. Nick C says he'd give the game ball to Ty Lue. Excellent choice, Ty Lue. Hey. Maybe Jeff Van Gundy could have got a piece of the game ball if you're going coaching around. Maybe Jeff Van Gundy was a big piece of it. Ryan Rollins game ball for the Clippers. That brother sucked. Yeah, Ryan Rollins wasn't good tonight. I mean, it's one of the things like the first possession where he ran into the defense and didn't do it. It was one of the things where like if you see something happen, if you get burnt by the stove once. All right, you got burnt. Yeah. There's, and hey, you're gonna live with that scar. You got to live with it. There's no way you're gonna get burnt again. Like that was what George Bush say. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, ain't gonna fool me again. He got fooled again. Like there's no way he went. He said, you know what? That didn't work the first time. I'm gonna do it again. And I was like, it was terrible. Did you see when Doc, as they called a timeout, and Doc was yelling, Ryan? You I was like, dog. Yeah, man. He was he was having some problems tonight.
Hey, like Tim Allen, Milwaukee Brewers legend post-game guy says, man, smile Milwaukee is gonna smile back. We're gonna smile back at you. Ryan, and I'm saying that in reference to Ryan Rollins will have better days ahead of him. He's a young kid. This is what happens when you play the young guys. And I hope that Doc doesn't go away from him. I hope that Doc does not go away from Ajax, because I think Ajax changes his game. That's why I gave him a game ball, because the time he was in there, him and TP locked them 2 dudes down for the Clippers.
Yeah, no, 100%, 100%, 100% he did. As far as I thought Ajax was good when the minutes he was there. And TP again, 14 points. I can't live. And then Grant, and then Gary Trent Jr. Again, he got cooked by James Harden, but this is a tough cover for him. But he held the bitch down on his own. I mean, 19 points all from Gary Trent Jr. tonight in 33 minutes. So I thought he played well. And I know a lot of people are going to hate on Brook Lopez and the way he played tonight. But I thought Brook, for 41 minutes, that's a lot of miles on Brook tonight. That's a tough job. I think he could have protected the rim a little better than he did. But I thought it was a tough ask with no Bobby Portis. And again, maybe you should have thought about going Tyler Smith. I don't know. But it was rough.
I think that's tough, man. I mean, the kid looks good in the G League. I mean, I think he could have went to him earlier when we got down 10 or 12 for a spark off the bench. I think he could have went Marjan too, because
I thought Marjan because Pat was ass.
Yeah, we got nothing to lose, man. Like at that point, but I mean, hey, man, we just got to win Monday. We can still finish this trip 3-1. 3-1 on this trip would be great. When I made my proclamation, I thought there was a good chance we could win 13 in this month. And thank God that Pelicans game got moved, because that pauses a bet. Was a boy from Racine, KIller Racine. We was right there on it too, dog.
Well, the 8-2 in your last 10. So yeah, you're right. I don't know what it actually ended up being. So it probably had to be real close.
But when we went through it, if you remember that night, I said this Clippers game would probably be an L.
It's gonna be a tough one. It was gonna be a tough one for sure.
I thought Lisa brought up that the travel stuff and the woes and stuff like that. The thing that I'm gonna push back on Lisa is, and I think she's the best woman in broadcast because she's my woman on the Bucks broadcast. But hey man, in that playoff thing, you're gonna be traveling like that, if not worse, potentially. So if Khris Legs can't make it through that, I don't know, man. And I know the chat's going crazy.
Yeah, I can't keep up. It's a lot going on.
Hey, well, it's a lot of fanboys for Barrett in there, but that's all good.
Yeah.
So
and he brought his crew. He brought his cousins.
Yeah, he brought them all in there. The Hobies in there. The only thing I'd say for No Strays ENT, he's right as far. The only thing that makes the Bill deal appealing to us as Bucks fans is he's absolutely right. Those draft picks are something that we don't have and we could use for another championship run. But this is the last thing I'm going to say about Middleton tonight. We talk about the look around or wherever you go, my bad. Listen, 21 was the best year of my life from an NBA fan being alive. The best. But I cannot make this another 50-year span before we get the next one. And if we think only in a 21 mind frame, that's where we'll be. Look, I love Bobby. I love Khris. I love Pat. But sometimes them guys got to be moved in order for us to go forward. So everybody that's a Bucks fan, Horst don't miss a lot when he does stuff like this. So let's just ride with John. And if he trades the guy, it's a valid reason. He's not just trade. He ain't doing like a lot of people do on Twitter. Oh, I'm going to do this big 6-game, 16 trade machine thing, and I'm going to do it. No, it's logically going to make sense for this team. So to No Strays Entertainment or ENT, whatever, if he brings in Bradley Beal, if he brings in Jeremy Grant, if he brings in Jimmy Butler, if he brings who's the other Levine, I'm gonna go buy the jersey just so y'all rock with him.
Yeah, no, I got a Middleton jersey and it's hanging up. I remember I got one after the finals. I say, man, you ball out, man. I got to get your jersey, so I had to do it. And again, 2 things to your point there. 100% thanks to Khris Middleton for 2021 for the things he's done for this franchise. And sometimes you have to look about moving on. The other thing I say is I keep seeing this other refrain people like to get at, which is, especially about the draft picks, and they go, well, Jeremy Grant's got a bad contract, or Bradley Beal's got this terrible contract. This person's got it. I'll say this once, and I'm sure I'll repeat myself for the next 2 weeks until the deadline. Contracts don't concern me at this point. I want another ring. I want a championship. So if I have to take on a bad contract, or if I have to move off a first round pick in 2031, I will do that and take the ring. And figure out the bad contract on the back end. I want rings first before you tell me about you did your future move was drafting AJ Johnson instead of somebody to help you this year. Your future move was drafting Tyler Smith instead of somebody to help you this year potentially. In the regular season, going to the deadline, whatever, I want to make moves that can win a championship. That's all I'm concerned with. We'll figure out the contracts at a later date, because again, if the guy can get moved this year, damn, if you win a championship, I know you can get moved at some point, moving on down the line.
But to say that point, let's be clear, everyone. We're Milwaukee Bucks fans. We're not Los Angeles Lakers. We're not Golden State Warriors. We're not Boston Celtic fans. You got to put everything into proper perspective. We're 50. In 68, we got 2 chips. So put them things in the front and let's win one. And if we suck for 20 years, look, I lived through the 90s. We ain't got to talk about Blue Edwards every time we come on this mug, right? Shout out, that boy from Green, he play out there from Greenville, North Carolina, ECU alum too.
Okay.
That's why I was saying, look, dog, we done lived through all that. We got to get past this 21 thing. And I'm a big proponent of 21. I say, build something, honor Pat, honor them dudes in the practice, whatever you gonna do. But we got to go now.
Yeah. That goes for 9 too.
That what?
That goes for number 9 too.
That goes for everybody.
Yeah.
Listen, we saw this with Favre on the Packers. We saw it with Rodgers on the Packers. I don't want the greatest dude ever to walk in the city of Milwaukee and play basketball to only have 1 ring. And if you ain't on board with that, and you fanboying from the back of the jersey, I can't rock with you, dog. I can't.
100%. Yeah, I'm with it. And so yeah, we'll we'll figure this thing out, and over the next 2 weeks or so, it's gonna be fun times. This is what we do. This is what we do. We evaluate on a game by game basis. And tonight the conversation. I mean, we've gone 70 minutes. 50 minutes of that has probably been Khris Middleton talk, which again I feel bad because it seems like we piled on tonight. Or at least I'll talk for myself. I know it's looking like I piled on tonight, right? This dude said we're gonna build around Khris Middleton. Like, what do we? That's what I'm saying. It's almost, again, it's the same thing as the Dame Bros last year. I know you were on the show last year, Justin, but I'm always a fan of I'm gonna be a fan of the Bucks when Giannis is gone. I'll be a fan of the Bucks when Khris is gone. All these guys will be gone, and we'll be talking about the new wave of Bucks players. So I'm never so attached. It's the same thing. You see, I got a Panthers jersey on, shirt on right now, right? Like, as good as and I'll tell you now. Again, I thought we did Cam Newton dirty in Carolina. And am I gonna sit here and lie to you and tell you I didn't used to watch Patriots games when Cam Newton was in New Orleans? Oh, absolutely. Hey, I did, but I had split screen. I didn't just shift my allegiance. I was watching. I had the Patriots up, streaming the Patriots, and I was watching my Panthers. So I mean, my point is, if Giannis ever left, if Khris is your favorite player, great. You can watch some of his games when the Bucks ain't playing. But for me, I'm a Milwaukee Bucks fan first. That's what these Dame Bros came in. Dame. If you notice, the Dame Bros don't have any problem with me this year because I speak very highly of Dame. I speak very highly of Dame because he's playing at a high level. That's all I'm concerned about every single time. Are you playing at a high level? I'm a Ryan Rollins guy through and through. Tonight he was trash. He just was.
Facts.
So again, that's how it always is. Barry says, he's a fan before me. Then act like it. Then that's all I'm saying. Act like don't get so attached to one guy. That's all I can tell you. Don't get so attached to one guy. Now again, Giannis is different. I can actually see Giannis. We talk about like loyalty, and it's the last thing I'm saying. And we'll get to the look around. Loyalty. You can't have four guys you're loyal to. Giannis is like LeBron is a one-of-one guy where you could make the argument, I can live with LeBron past this time a little bit because it's LeBron. Michael Jordan, I can live with a Michael Jordan a little bit beyond his time because it's Michael Jordan. Steph Curry in Golden State, if you want to go that route. Guys like that, you can live a little bit beyond their prime. Right? Like when Giannis' athleticism starts to go, I'm not going to go trade him on the first. I'm not doing that because of how much he's done. Khris Middleton's done a lot, but it's not the same. That's all I'm saying. This is Giannis built Fiserv. That it's different. It's levels. That's all I'm saying. Right. It's levels.
If there's no Giannis, this team might not even be in Milwaukee, man. And I know that Khris is probably one of the best Robins of all time. What I'll say is,
but they ain't making no Robin move, man. Robin ain't on the big screen. That's all I'm saying.
I still watch Dante DiVincenzo games. I watch Jordan Poole games because he went to my high school. I watch Tyler Hero games because he's a Milwaukee kid. I watch, as much as y'all gonna get pissed at me, I watch Jimmy Butler because I'm a Marquette fan. When Frank Kaminsky was in the league, I would watch him. When Patrick Baldwin Jr. from UW Milwaukee was in the league, I would watch to see him. But you got to keep the proper thing in focus. And I just don't want Khris Middleton to turn into a Dante DiVincenzo trade where we do him and we trade a viable asset for Serge Ibaka, right? That's where I sit on my seat. Barrett, since you're here and you got all your cousins and your aunties and all them people in there, hey, put in the chat who you would actually trade Khris Middleton for. How about that? That's a good question.
He's gonna tell you nobody, but yeah, let's see what he would actually. Who would you actually trade him for? Is there anybody that you could see who you would do it for? Because again, that's the other thing. I think these people have these lenses where it's like, I'm not gonna. Somebody else, because I said Jeremy Grant earlier. It was like, you can't trade him for trash. I'm like, who do you think these guys? I mean, you're not getting a 10-time All-Star back for Khris Middleton. Let's do our look around tonight. Clippers beat the Bucks 127-117. Pacers beat the Spurs. They get a revenge out in Paris. Halliburton had like 15 points, like 3 minutes. And of course, that's when he started yapping when they got up. Timberwolves beat the Nuggets tonight 133-104. Boston Celtics blew out the Mavericks 122-107. Heat win tonight over the Nets. Magic beat the Pistons. Magic 24-23. Pistons 23-22. How about the Hornets get the Pelicans? They do that. The Knicks put up 143 on the Kings and get a win. Rockets beat the Cleveland Cavaliers. I watched a little bit of that one. Looked like Cleveland was going to come back and beat Houston, but Houston was able to hold on. Fred VanVleet hit a big three. They got the ball to Sengun late in the game, and he balled as well. Raptors beat the Hawks. Grizzlies beat the Jazz, who we'll see next. The 76ers beat the Bulls. Lakers on ESPN, ABC, ESPN Plus, ABC beat the Warriors 118-108. And the Suns get a much-needed win, 119-109 over the Washington Wizards. Last thing I want to ask you, Justin, before we get up out of here, your thoughts about tomorrow, Eagles, Commanders, Bills, and Chiefs. Just any thoughts on the AFC, NFC championship games and where those go?
So because I took my field trip that got me in trouble in the house up to Philadelphia, I really want to see the Daniels boy go crazy on them boys, man. Those fans are, listen, like what that woman experienced was probably a microcosm of stuff that I heard in my section, and I had on no Packers gear. So I want to see Commanders, Bills. I realistically, where I'm gonna put my money on tonight, it'll probably be Eagles to cover. And Bills will cover the spread, but not win the game.
Yeah, I think I think the Eagles win. I think everything it stops for the Commanders. Good year for them. Hell of a year. Jaden Daniels played very well, but I think this is it. I don't think they can get past Philly. Saquon, the run game. I wonder how Hurts' knee really is. That could be an issue, and then from a defensive perspective, defensive line, Jalen Carter, how is Washington going to get him? But again, if Washington wants to win, they've gotten themselves into good situations, and it all starts to me with on the legs of Jaden Daniels. Get the ball down the field and have Jaden Daniels run at least 12, 13, 14 times, see where it ends up, and then hit your shots down the field. With Scary Terry and all them boys, Yami Brown, has played well too. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. And on the other side, you got to realize you're not just playing the Chiefs and Mahomes. You probably playing a little bit of the refs too. They just get the benefits of the calls, man. And again, I don't think I said it on TCQs earlier today. I don't think it's like a thing that the league is doing purposefully. Like I know people's conspiracy theories. Mm-hmm. I don't think that, but again, I do think this is the year that I think Kelsey you win the Super Bowl. I said it last year, it didn't happen. This year, if they win the Super Bowl, Travis Kelsey midfield does the proposes to Taylor Swift, and that I can see it, and will break the internet. If that took probably more so than the game if that happened. But yeah, I think I really do think that it's just very tough. And it's one of those things where maybe it comes down to who has the ball last. And Josh Allen's got to play much, much, much better than he did last game. I hate that Lamar got the rap that he did for the interception. The fumble was bad, but man, I just hate that Lamar because I thought he outplayed Josh Allen to me. Josh Allen held him to the ball, didn't turn the ball over, but he outplayed him in the story. But Lamar, again, it is what it is. Can't win a big one, and that's the narrative that comes out. And if Josh Allen can't beat Patrick Mahomes, same thing with the narrative on that. Give you the last word.
One thing I push back on y'all about, man, love Mark Andrews, man. I'm a type 1 diabetic like he is, diagnosed at 18 months of age, 42 now, so I lived a long, great life. And we going to keep going now. We ain't shutting this joint down no time soon.
Yeah.
So I hate to see it happen to him. Some of the dudes that I really like are the Brewers, Garrett Mitchell, type 1 diabetic, man. It's just, it sucks, man. You're a legit football player, man. It's like myself when I played golf in college. You practice 2-foot putts your whole life and you miss a 2-foot putt. Those are just supposed to be second nature. And it's like you miss something that should be there. It just sucks, man. I hate it for him. I hate that he didn't take the interview right after the game. I understand it, the raw emotion. You don't want to misspeak. Hey, man, I just hope it's sunny days for the Ravens, man. The last point I give you on the football is you said Saquon.
Mm.
Washington got the worst run defense in the entire playoffs, and that's scary for them guys, man. But if Jalen isn't 100%, they've proven that they can beat a quarterback that isn't Jalen. So they're gonna have to, blitz the hell out the run blitz, make that boy throw the ball, and if he carves you up, take the L.
Yeah, no, 100%, and that's how it's going to be. And we'll see if they can force Jane Daniels into some rookie mistakes, or if they can keep him clean and work it out. Hopefully, 2 good games. Definitely looking forward to Bills Chiefs tomorrow night. That'll wrap, man. That'll do it for us. The chat is going crazy. Well, so we got a super chat, so we gotta do that. The super chat, y'all been going crazy in the chat like this entire time. Y'all been wilding. But super chat NYC Demon says Khris got more surgeries done since last year than he had points tonight. Oh wow, that's a tough one. Barrett talking about some loyalty. Let the man play more than 20 minutes with a week of rest. Delusional Bucks fans. NYC Demon.
Wait. So you're no? I mean, the whole reason why they're not letting them play more than 20 minutes because they're trying to spare those ankles and spare the knee and the hamstring and everything. Like we gotta put one thing in proper perspective, Barrett or whoever else in the hell is in here on the stuff, man. Like Chris's lower body, he's had a multitude of surgeries. Hamstring. He had a hamstring that was torn completely off the body.
Yeah,
and missed 90% of the year. Like. He's missed so many games this year. He should be 6th man of the year, and he can't get it because of the games he's missed. Hey man, I don't know what we're looking for, man. I hope Khris comes back better Monday, Tuesday, and next week against San Antonio. And I hope, like you said, he gets back to being cash money, man. Because we need him. We miss you. We want you.
Yes, and I think, again, that's the overwhelming thing that probably didn't even come across tonight. Listen, and I say all the time, I want the guys to play well. 100% want to play well. Yeah, I agree with your point, though, Justin. Yeah, they're shutting him down, or at least not letting him play as much because they're trying to preserve him. But again, there is a question. You're 43 games in. When you are trying to be preserved at 43 games in, I do have questions as to what that's going to look like at the end. I have a lot of questions as to whether or not this thing, and again, it's not even like last year. He just does not move the same. He just don't move. He doesn't move. Like, again, him healthy now, 100% of him is like 80%. He just does not move the same. Again, it is very concerning, the thought of that being your third best player at this point. That's all I'm saying. I am very concerned. And I get it when you talk about, well, Jeremy Grant's not better than this guy, or Bill's not better, or he doesn't fit as well. I'd almost rather sacrifice a little bit of fit for a guy that's 100%. And again, well, Bill's has some injury. Jeremy Grant has injury history. Yes. But when they are 100%, they look 100%. The people are telling me Khris Middleton's 100%, and he doesn't look it. So you're telling me 100% of Khris Middleton is what he is at this point. And that scares me when you're telling me you got to go, full out, and win a championship with that. Like, it's just gonna be tough. And I said this earlier on TCQs. It's a roll of the dice either way. You're either rolling the dice and saying, okay, Khris is gonna play 35 minutes a game and he's gonna figure it out and everything's gonna be fine. Or you're rolling dice saying, okay, we're going to bring in a Jeremy Grant. We're going to bring in Bradley Beal. We're going to bring in Zach LaVine. You're going to bring in a Jimmy Butler and a Time Lord or whoever else you're going to add to it. You're going to bring those guys in, and you have to assimilate them to the culture. And again, Jeremy Grant, well, he hasn't played well. He hasn't been doing like what he's supposed to be doing. And he hasn't played defense like yet. Well, you're banking on that this version of Jeremy Grant that's in Portland is, he's playing for nothing, essentially. And in Milwaukee, he's not going to do that. Same with or Bradley Beal's not. Hey, it's a situation, and it's not Jimmy Butler. Hey, it's the situation. It's what's going on in Miami. We can change this. That's what this is all about. The only guy who's playing like very, very well out of all these guys is Zach LaVine. And Zach LaVine's volume and usage is going to go down as well when he comes and plays third fiddle to Giannis and Dame. So again, this thing goes as far as Giannis and Dame, but you have to have complementary pieces that are in there. And last thing I'll say, the Philadelphia 76ers, and I'll talk about Philly for this, which is I'm gonna go left field and just get this. The Philadelphia 76ers third best player was for the last couple seasons was Tobias Harris.
Yeah.
He's not, and he had a bunch of stinkers, like where he wasn't good, where like But the difference was he could move. He played good defense. He played solid. He wasn't just driving past Tobias Harris and all. He had some good games and some bad games where he couldn't score all that. The problem was their best players either weren't available or there was something wrong. You talk about when it was Ben Simmons with he wasn't there with it. So okay, so whether it's Maxey, and Embiid, Maxey can't beat him one good enough. Embiid either was at least some point hampered or injured or winded, fatigued, whatever you want to say, couldn't get the job done. Your difference in Milwaukee. So again, my point is, I can live with maybe a guy who is not as good as my third best for being my third best player, but they can do all the other things. Khris at this point is limited to and that's why it gets scary. Same issue I have with Bobby Portis. Khris is limited now to really just shooting the ball and trying to score. So you can impact. All I'm saying is, would I rather have a guy who can impact and do a little bit more because they can go 100%, even if the fit's not there, even if their game isn't there to what Khris Middleton should be or could be, or has been. I'd rather have a guy that can go 100% and could do some of the little things.
So let's play devil's advocate and say Khris Middleton is 100% fully healed from this injury. Then he's Charles Barkley with a golf club in his hand prior to getting these lessons. He's mentally just not there, and he doesn't trust it. Charles Barkley was one of the better NBA golfers that there was at one point, and then he went to this mental metamorphosis where he could not swing a golf club. And I see a lot of that from the mentality. And that's why I said, and you remember, if you rewind this back, all you folks in the chat, about game 2 or 3 when he's coming back, I said he needs to see a sports psychologist. And that's because if he's healthy, he's not here. And listen, Jeremy Grant, Levine, Bradley Beal, them looks they getting where they're at, them looks different in Milwaukee, man. Them boys going from open to wide to F open.
Yep.
And I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna try, like, the one thing I'm gonna tell you about Bradley Beal, and I don't want him on the Bucks, and I wouldn't trade Khris Middleton for him, but he gonna get a shot off.
Right.
100%. Zach LaVine gonna get a shot off. Jeremy Grant, he may not be this or that. He wide open, he gonna knock it down. But the other thing he gonna do, he gonna rebound that ball.
Yeah, he's right. It's the little things, and right now because Khris Middleton, it's not that he doesn't want, he's having trouble doing them. Some of the things that we love and respect from Khris Middleton, again, along with the scoring, you gotta be able to do. If you're not scoring, you gotta be able to do those other things. Okay, let's.
One other thing, my bad. I mean, and all this stuff in the chat about giving 1 year, we don't have a year. We gotta get a championship now.
Yeah. Yeah, this is title or bust, because again, 1 year. This all ends next year if you don't win a championship. Everything changes as far as things around this team. All right, we got to go, man. And I feel bad because people are gonna watch this back, and again, it's 90 minutes and it's like 75 minutes. It's like 80 minutes of, I feel like, looks like we like trashed Khris Middleton. Again, I talk for myself. Like I hope it didn't come across that way. I don't know. Maybe it did, but it is late. It's about 3 a.m. on the East Coast, so I got to get up out of here. Clippers beat the Bucks tonight, 127-117 over the Milwaukee Bucks. Want to thank our sponsors tonight, Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill. Want to thank you, man. A lot of people in here. This is a good amount of people in here to be in here, this late. So again, you could have been anywhere in the world. Y'all have been here. Y'all have been in the chat going crazy. So we appreciate it. Hit the like button if you like anything. If you enjoyed being up with us tonight, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, follow us, man. We really appreciate it. We enjoy the commentary. We enjoy having fun every single night. This is a nice long edition of Bucks After Dark Cream City crossover. So some real good stuff. Head to Curly's Waffle Sports Bar and Grill. Check it. Tell them the group sent you. Tell them the Cream City crossover sent you. And again, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend about the Cream City crossover, best post-game show in all of the land for the Milwaukee Bucks. That's it. That's all I got. Any last words, Justin?
Hey, man, y'all have a good Sunday, man. We in Championship Sunday. Enjoy the football games. We'll see y'all right back Monday, hopefully with a win.
See
And
you
Khris
back.
Middleton for 40.
Yes, sir. See you back Monday, man. Get some sleep, man. We appreciate it. If I am the enemy, this has been a Cream City Media Group production for the Guru Truck House with Third.
Justin.
Hey, if I am the enemy, it's only because I dare to tell you the truth. Don't take no wood nickels.